Yo, 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 yo. Pronounce it like the letter, don't say it at all. It's your boy S, and this is BARZ Wrestling Media. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more content. Yeah! BARZ Wrestling Media presents Sessions. Another video of Sessions. And this time, special guest. We got pro wrestler Perfection is in the building with us. We gonna talk that talk and a lot of other stuff. Stay tuned. Yeah, it's your boy S.
VO got that sound, boy.
About to stack up them commas. Yeah. So, without further ado, we got the perfectionist in the building with us right now. I'm talking about this guy's clothesline is similar to JBL's. He probably clotheslined your favorites wrestler. He probably heard Karana, your favorites wrestler. He probably stomped him out and then put their face in the mirror and said, look how ugly you are and look how perfect I am. I'm talking about pro wrestler Perfection. What up, bro?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Thank you for that introduction. That was a crazy introduction. Yeah, nothing but truth on that one though.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm trying to make up for it when we was talking in the chat. You know what I mean? I messed up the name real quick.
No, you good? No, you good? You're good. You all good?
Yeah, man. So, tell the people about yourself, you know what I mean? How you got started in professional wrestling and what you're involved in right now moving forward, and then we'll get into all the other stuff. The floor is yours.
Cool. All right, so I go by Perfection. Trained at Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in 2018. Trained and graduated. For those who don't know, that's Seth Rollins School. So I was trained by Seth Rollins and Merrick Brave. Of fall of 2018. Graduated that class. That's also the same class that Heather by Elegance or Heather Reckless. She's currently signed to current tag team women's tag team champ at TNA. So I graduated with her. Um, didn't really do much 2019, was paying dues or whatever. Uh, Started beginning of 2020 of January, I think January 25th, I believe. Give it take a couple of days in Zawa Live, which is located in northern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And then was picking up some momentum. And then, of course, March happened, March 2020 happened, with the whole COVID thing. So once everything started getting, released and started getting, lifted, I had to basically restart from the ground up 2021. And I started over here in Wisconsin. Then since then it's kind of been history. Um, Little highlights, I guess, would be former Raging Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion with Aaron Arsenal. We were the Perfect Arsenal. Also, another highlight would be 2021, 2022 fall. Wrestles Sunny Kiss, which is from AEW, for those who don't know. Um, and then most recent highlight would probably be 372-day title reign for Now That's Wrestling up in Wisconsin, around the Appleton area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than that, it's been kind of been history. Was doing little stuff with Frontline Pro recently. Unfortunately, had to cancel, or the promoter had to cancel a bunch of dates that was on. So right now we're just kind of just rebuilding from the ground up, trying to get my name back out there. Not even just now trying to just more expand outside because normally I've been kind of general within the uh, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana area, but now I'm trying to like make it out more east now. Trying to make connections there, and would love to obviously go to the west. So now it's kind of just rebuilding um, Perfection basically from the ground up. Uh, especially having an amazing title reign for 372 days.
So you had a Roman Reigns like type of title reign.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Mhm.
That's what's up. I watched, and I'm serious about the clothesline thing. I watched the one that's actually the screenshot I took to use for the thumbnail. I was
Mhm.
like, yo, that clothesline was wicked. So
Yeah.
who I wanna ask you this: who inspired your character, and why the name Pro Wrestler Perfection?
So, for those who for inspiration, um, it's more of they always say the best gimmicks are yourself or a certain trait of yourself cranks up to 11. So perfection came from actually 2016. I was kind of going through a very egotistical phase in my life. I was very full of myself. And you definitely argue, very toxic at that point. Um, and but I was very egotistical. And then I also at that time it was before I started training for wrestling. I was taking my mom wanted me to try to give the old college try before because I've always wanted to be a wrestler since I was 7. And eventually she was like, once I graduated high school, she said, all right, if you just at least try to go to college for something, then I'll go pay for your wrestling school, but you have to give the college try. I'm like, all right, cool. So for a semester, and I didn't want to take regular classes for college because if there's why would I be taking regular classes for if it's not going to be something that I want to go do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just took classes that interested me. So I've always loved to dance, so I took hip hop. uh, I got into sports medicine, and then I was supposed to go to acting, but I think the whole like financial aid didn't really cover that, so I just had those two basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but I loved my hip hop class. There was I had a classmate, her name's Sasha Dill, shout out her. Uh, we became good friends, and again, full of myself, uh, big head, almost god complex. Uh, we were going over a piece during class, and she was like kind of telling me stuff that or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, I got this down, I got this down to the T. And she's like, all right, Mr. Perfection. So then like we just dropped the Mr. and then literally just became like an actual like shoot nickname for me. So Perfection was
Mm-hmm.
from that.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, years later, of course, I didn't finish the whole college thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I got to wrestling class, I originally had a different idea that I wanted to be since I was 7. Even got it tattooed on my arm. Think I was so thinking I was going to come out with the gimmick that I was coming in with. But eventually, over the course of class, they would see like older pictures of me during that whole cocky, like arrogant era of mine, and they would just see like hashtag perfection or perfection. And they'd be like, oh, and then eventually Merrick Brave, my coach, was just like having like a heyday with it, just seeing all like some people would say even cringy stuff that I would like post. And that's when I kind of knew I was like, you know what? Like even though I'm not proud of that part of my life, not proud of the whole how basically arrogant and how toxic I was back then,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a great heel character. So I brought basically perfection into fruition and kind of just started, you know, taking the reins on it, and the rest is history really. So yeah, just straight perfection, because what is more arrogant than someone's name just being perfection?
Yeah, I get it. When I started watching some of your matches and seeing how your character plays out or whatever, I was thinking Rick Martel. I was also thinking Mr. Perfect. I was thinking the one character that Cody played at one time when he had the
Hmm.
mirror and
Yeah.
everything. And then I also was thinking a little bit of Rain Man Okada. And the reason why I say
Yeah.
that is because you guys got a similar robe. You guys got the similar robe. Y'all got the similar
Hmm.
hairstyle. You know what I mean? So like, what wrestlers inspired you as far as your look? Because I could say these guys all day as far as like who I think, but who do you feel that inspired your look as far as like when you come out to the ring and things like that?
So as far as look wise,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even it's not even like wrestlers that inspired. It was more of like eras or pop culture. So like I come out to So Fresh So Clean by Outkast.
Okay.
So I'm really into I'm a huge hip hop head. I love hip hop. I love rap. So like the basically the pimp style like of Outkast, like early
Yeah,
2000s,
yeah,
late
yeah, yeah,
90s. Like that's
yeah.
that's like a huge inspiration for me. Or even like early 2000s, with like I haven't done it yet, but like even early 2000s, like the uh like all denim, or even like the throwbacks or whatever, like almost like even early John Cena, you could even say too. So
Mm-hmm.
basically just rap culture really just inspired the look. As far as like even just the character, like my top three favorite wrestlers, I take inspiration from. So like my top would be like The Rock. So when I do promos, I really take a lot of inspiration from The Rock. So a lot of me referring to myself as perfection. I don't say I say perfection, just like The Rock would say The Rock instead.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Guerrero, just trying to get that essence that he had, the aura that he had, especially his Latino heat phase. So really was trying to capture that. And then as far as in ring, um, I take a lot of that from Shinsuke Nakamura, because I love MMA. MMA is like my second love. Honestly, if I didn't find wrestling first, I'd be an MMA fighter. So I like to incorporate that as well. So but yeah, but as far as look, it's definitely just a lot of hip hop, rap, really. Pimp C. Just basically, if you take the International Players Anthem music video and you
Mm-hmm.
just put me in there, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Like you're not the only one that's told me stuff like that too. And not for nothing, hip hop and pro wrestling fuse together pretty well. Like,
Hmm.
have you heard of West Side Guns promotion? Third,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, fourth row, third
yeah,
row, fourth row.
fourth row. Yeah, yup. Yo, you gotta holler at them dudes over
Yeah,
there, man. Their promotion's fire. Like, I watched a few of their matches on YouTube, man. They had some big names over there too. Like,
yep.
yeah, and have you heard of this other hip hop based promotion? I think it's called Hood Slam or something like that. They're based out of
I
Atlanta.
think I've seen those. Yeah, I think I've seen some stuff about that too.
Yeah, you gotta check those guys
Yeah.
out too. They're pretty good, man. They're really good, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm glad you said that because, like I said, like a lot of wrestling, especially in today's wrestling, really fuses too well together with hip hop,
Hmm.
and you see a lot of hip hop have wrestling based type of characters and whatever
Hmm.
involved in there in some shape or form. And then some of the wrestlers actually do music, like
Hmm.
when I interviewed Mancho's Mayhem just the other day, and he's actually an artist. We already know Swerve Strickland actually
Hmm.
raps. AJ Francis raps. There's a few others. Even Montez Ford raps too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't even know that Montez Ford raps too, and he's
Yeah.
pretty good. So
Hmm.
like I feel like hip hop and wrestling go together pretty well. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So you spoke about your life and things like that. So have you went in through any trials and tribulations that would have made you think that maybe wrestling is not for me, maybe I should get into another craft or things like that? What if you did, what made you or what led you to go back and say, nah, this is where I need to be, this is where I need to stay at? What led you to do that?
That's crazy you say that, because I mean that's just the business overall. There's going to be a lot of trials, tribulations. Like The earliest is going through Black and Brave Wrestling. They really treat it like a almost like military training, because they try to get you to quit because they want to see how bad you want this. So they will like yell at you and scream at you. Like they don't baby you at all, and they tell you this up front. They say we want to see who's actually here, because even in my class we started with 13, ended up with I think like 7 or something,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had people who just come in, pay three the 3K and just to meet Seth Rollins, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
so they really want to see who's at. But during that time, it was, I always say, it's still the most physically, mentally, emotionally grueling training that I've ever been through. Luckily, I had a great support system with my brothers and sisters in that class. Basically, just, he's like, hey, you didn't come this far, just come this far, you know? Uh, but the reason why I say it's funny to say that is because I am on the tail end, I would say, of going through that trial and tribulation. Most recently, very, very recently, uh, was kind of having a very a self-esteem problem, which is funny to say, right? Perfection has self-esteem problems, crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, we always, men, women always go through uh mental stress,
Mm-hmm.
and mental health is a big thing. Um, but there was a lot of I had a lot of self-esteem issues. So I did go through that. Man, I don't know if this is for me. What do I need to do? Blah 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 and stuff. But I think what really most recently what made me realize like this is for me. This is I need to stay in here is definitely the fans. It's it's the constant when's your next show where I'll go like and when I say most recent, I mean like this past month. uh like earlier this month, it was just like, or not this month, but earlier like last month, people were like, oh, when's the next show? When's the next show? And it almost, I got that so much. My brain, because my low self-esteem was like taking it as like, oh, you don't have any shows coming up. And that's just like that was just my mental going against me, rather than like these are people who want to see me and they're waiting for the next show to watch me, basically, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And basically, the fans that I have, I'm so thankful. Like you guys, for any fans in here, you guys are the ones that are keeping me going right now. Because like I said, like this is very recent. Like I'm just now trying to rebuild. Like I said, we're rebuilding. So it's pretty funny that you say that.
Yeah, I definitely can understand when it comes to a mental health standpoint. You know what I mean? We go through that a lot, and at times you catch yourself trying to go so hard that you might catch burnout at times.
Hmm.
And you need to do the reset. I know for me, like I work in the mental health field, so like I understand. Just me working with the surrounding patients that I have, and then I might go through burnout every once in a while, and I just gotta take a
Hmm.
breather. I might have to go sit back down outside somewhere, just get some air. You know what I mean? So I understand totally. I understand totally. But you definitely got some fans in here. You definitely got a fan of me. From what I've seen, the work that you put in, bro, like you gotta keep going, bro. You cannot
Thank you,
stop.
thank you.
You
Got a
cannot
question.
stop, man. You got.
I got a question about that perfection.
Yep.
Can you talk about the importance of keeping your mental health in order while also being a pro wrestler and the possibility of also having a side gig too? What did you do to keep your mental health in order?
Um, so there's gonna be basically two different answers. Just because I've experienced the burnout that we were talking about earlier. I've experienced that burnout. So like uh end of 2023, I was getting burnt out. I was called this is right before I run the title. I was getting burnt out. I was like, because I was just taking bookings upon bookings and didn't really see basically my career trajectory going anywhere. And I was like, I like it that is a very real thing. You do your dream so much that you just kind of start to hate it. Like it started like feel like a job really. And um I was gonna quit. Uh but a blessing in disguise told me in December of 2023, hey, you're winning this title and you're gonna hold on to it for a long time. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, so how do I not get burnt out but still carry this title that I'm supposed to be holding on for a good while, if I'm hating what I'm doing right now. So basically I literally just stuck to that one promotion to now that's wrestling, and they've treated me well. I'll always be grateful for them. And like you said earlier, like you kind of just need to step back sometimes, and that's totally okay. That's totally even. And there's some wrestlers who will disagree. That just be like, forget your mental health, right? And just keep going because it is a grind, and you do need to stay in the grind. But like I think it's definitely healthy to step back, look at the picture that you're painting, because you don't want to just keep painting that picture and find out that you're making messy lines. You want to step back, reevaluate. All right, let me do this, or even just focus. All right, let me focus on this edge of the painting right now, just for now, and then we'll go back to the whole picture later. So, um, as far as like the burnout and stuff, I just had to take that step back and keep it. But now, if like funny enough, now it's like reversed for me, or most recently now it's like reversed. So it used to be I was doing so much, I was hating wrestling and I didn't want to do it. And now it became the point of I want to do wrestling so much, but I just don't have the opportunities because, like I said, like the promotion I was with earlier kind of had to cancel a bunch of dates. So now I'm like at the rebuilding process. So I'm just like I have all these avenues I want to go to and wrestle, but I keep hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
And to get me through that, to keep my mental health, is the support system that I have. My fans, my close friends that I have been really supporting. Just trying to get me through and supporting me, like, no, don't quit, like, don't do this. And then and I'm just super grateful for the support system that I have. Like I said, my friends, my family, and fans. Um, because honestly, without them, like I wouldn't go through. So definitely just having that big support system, especially in a mental health crisis, it definitely helps you through. But also at the end of the day, it is just you. It is you versus your mental health, and you gotta just beat that and conquer it yourself.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. Yeah, I wouldn't like when it comes to mental health, I wouldn't say just pierce through it or whatever like that. I wouldn't agree with that because sometimes that could lead to like other tragic things that you don't want to
Mhm.
embark on. Um, I remember myself, years ago, when my mother passed from cancer, like and I tried to press through at my job and I was making so many mistakes. I was like crashing out like at work. Like
Yep.
every day was a crash out day for me. And it came to a point where my supervisor literally had to pull me into the office and say, "Hey, listen, you gotta take a breather. You gotta take a breather. This is not gonna work." And let me say this too: it's very important to have that time, that mental health time to yourself. When you lose a loved one, when you're working so hard, and you just don't have enough time just to take a breather, it's important. It's okay to take a day off. You don't let
Hmm.
nobody tell you it's not okay to take a day off. It's very okay to take a day off. I had to take like about 2, almost 3 weeks. Like
Hmm.
I really needed to do that because my mental space was so screwed up at the time. Like I couldn't even think straight. But when I came back, I was glad that I took that day off because I was finally able to think straight for once. And it's
Hmm.
and I also think it's important too to have other outlets. And that would be my next question. When you're not on the road clotheslining and holding the title, what are you doing? What are you doing on your side time, as far as like keeping yourself active and things like that?
So, literally all I do is like my shoot job. I work at a gym, and then
Mhm.
literally right after the gym, I go hit the gym. So I'm literally at my own gym for 12 hours a day. Uh, but as far as like outlets, like on the weekends or when I don't have shows or whatever, I'll go ahead play video games. Uh, I'll go ahead. Sometimes I'll stream on video games as well. Perfection
Mhm.
Pro Wrestler, cheap plug on Twitch and TikTok. Uh,
Mhm.
um, and then on top of that, I also just like I've been getting into the rave scene, a lot of EDM music, going to the rave scene lately because
Mhm.
I used to do that back then when I wasn't like less active. So it's nice to go back to the rave scene because the rave scene, just as a community, is really nice and inviting. So that's what I do to get that outlet. But for the most part, that's really just me working out, and then just like a couple video games here and there. But yeah, professional wrestling is just a nonstop grind. Like, you know, it's one thing to like go to a date and show, but it's yeah, and what you do in the ring, but that's only like a couple hours out of your whole week. The rest of the hours are dedicated to wrestling. So it's to you know working your shoot job, going to the gym, and also eating rights, and then having to meal prep. So uh, that's what just takes a lot of time for that. But
All right. So my next question is, are you a part of the ID program, or are you have been considered part of the ID program? Because I definitely seen a video. So what's the case with that? Are you, or are you going into it?
so from the ID, from what I got when I asked Rollins about it, because everybody was so iffy about it. From what my take is from it, it's basically when WWE says, "Hey, these are a list of schools of everything that's ID." It's basically just saying, "Hey, if you're trying to get to us, these are some schools that we are looking for," which
Mm-hmm.
totally makes sense. It's kind of like it's kind of like, hey, like let's say like Black and Braves on there. Um, reality of wrestling's on there, Booker T
Mm-hmm.
school, right? So basically, when Doty says, "Hey, these are schools that we're looking at,"
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, "Hey, like if you want to go to Doty, these are some schools you should go to," but it doesn't mean that you're in the ID program. So everyone who's graduated from Black and Brave aren't in the ID program. The ID program still has to come to you.
Oh.
So it's kind of just like it's think of it like as like a funnel, basically, really. But you still need to get chosen at the end of the day.
So
So for
so
me, I am not ID, but
so
I'm an ID school.
okay. So it's sort of like what can I compare the ID program to? All right, so you know how the pro athletes have that, what do they call it, ND, and it's something that starts with an N, and it's like a program that the athletes, the NIL. So
Hmm.
okay, so it's like that, like the athletes will be involved in the NIL for some time, like probably through high school, whatever, and then eventually they migrate into like the bigger programs and stuff like that. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, great you brought up because I totally forgot about. So NIL basically, NIL and Performance Center, DC.
Mm-hmm.
Those are for the people who aren't in wrestling, who aren't the independent wrestlers. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where they grab it from. But the ID is just the equivalent of that, but for independent wrestlers. So that's all it is.
Oh.
Basically, NIL and ID are the same thing. It's just whether you came from the independent circuit or if you came from a different sport. So I'm glad.
Oh.
So, but yeah, glad you reminded me that because that's literally what it was told to me that it's the
Oh.
same
Okay.
exact thing.
Yeah, cause the thing is not just for you, but I was just wondering because I was like, okay, so I kind of understand the ID program, but then I don't. So I was
Hmm.
like, that was one of the questions that I said, like, I'm gonna ask when I talk to you and things like that. Um, my next question is, and then we're gonna start letting people up on the panel. My next question is, how many? Well, I think you answered it, but with the years of experience that you've had in professional wrestling, Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? As far as like promotion wise, do you see yourself in a WWE, a AEW, TNA, things like that? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So, next 5 years, of course, obviously, that ideally be WWE. Um, but if for thinking, somewhat realistically, I could see myself and on AEW or TNA, something. I don't want to call them lower, but something on the on that scale, whether it is a stepping stone to get to WWE. So I definitely see myself, probably more. So I'm looking at the date. Probably more of the like maybe like fourth, fifth year. That's what I'm thinking. At least I know I would probably do extra work by then. So
Hmm.
like but at the same time, yeah, definitely WWE is the goal for sure.
Yeah, I
Do
could
do
definitely. Oh, go ahead, Dub, and then I'll ask.
do you have, whether if it's AEW, WWE, TNA, do you have any dream opponents?
Oof. Obvious. So I guess I could just pick one from each one. I guess. I'd say maybe from AEW, it would definitely be. I guess Okada now. Yeah, Okada would be a great one because, of course, the thing. Which, by the way, complete unintentional. Like I literally take like I don't even take like I didn't realize it, but I literally take a picture of Jungkook from BTS, and I show my barber that, and then it does it for me or whatever. But then realize, oh, Okada has this, and I'm like, oh, great.
You mean you mean
Which is hilarious
you
because
mean the group, right? Not to cut you off. You mean the
yeah,
group?
yeah,
The
yeah,
group.
yeah,
Yeah, I
BTS,
know
yeah,
BTS. Yeah, I know about them. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go
I don't
ahead.
even listen to them, but I just thought the dude's hair was like dope. So I'm like, I want that
Yeah.
because I used to have longer black hair,
Uh huh.
which I was called Shinsuke at the time. I've actually done Shinsuke in a battle royal before, which Shinsuke's actually seen and like reposted and liked. Uh,
Hmm.
but uh, but I've done Shinsuke before. So then I'm like, all right, well, let me go change. Let me get like blonde and then short, something completely different from what I did. And then I become Okada. I'm like, all right, cool.
Hmm.
Which is hilarious. But I love them both. I love them both. But yeah, so Okada would be from AEW. TNA, I haven't really like kept up with, so I couldn't really like say who I'd want to work. But WWE would definitely be Shinsuke. Just because he's, like I said, my top. They're just he's always been a huge inspiration to me, especially as an Asian as well, an Asian wrestler. Just basically, long story short, like to me, he like broke out of the typical Asian stereotype of here comes a Asian martial artist because Tajiri, Kung Fu Naki, Yoshitatsu just seems a little same. And yeah, while Shinsuke did have the martial arts aspect, it's his charisma, it's his aura that made him him. Like NXT, like NXT. I remember when I was introduced, like when I saw him coming for NXT, and they were teasing Shinsuke. I was like, I'm like, who is this guy? Like, why is everyone raving about him? I watched Wrestle Kingdom 10 from him versus AJ Styles, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's got aura. And and
Hmm.
like that's what made me realize, like, oh, because that was kind of a fear growing up, was like, oh, when I go to WWE, am I just gonna be stuck with a basic martial arts Asian character, you know, a comedy character? But no, it like it showed that, like, oh man, you can be on top of the world, especially NXT at that time. You could be on top of the world and be Asian. So definitely Shinsuke for sure.
Quick question backed off that.
Mhm.
I see you didn't mention your mentor Seth Rollins. How
Mhm.
would you feel? How would you be able to hold your own against him in a W ring whenever you do get there?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely hold my own against him. He's always been a great teacher to me. So so yeah, definitely hold my own. I know it was called. I don't know. I guess I just don't really say him or he's in my top just because I don't know. I guess because I just kind of just like see him as like my trainer. Like to me, he's just I know it's a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's Seth Rollins, but to me, like that's just my coach, you know. So I think maybe that's why. But I would love to. I love to tear it up with Rollins for sure.
I'd pay to see it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I definitely would pay to see that. So, all right. So we're getting down to that mark. So this is what we're gonna do. So for whoever's been in the chat, if you have any questions for perfection, I'm going to let you guys up. The moderators are going to let you up. But here's the thing. Here's the thing for whoever's in the chat. If you don't have any questions and you know you don't have any questions, I need you to stay in the chat. Only because like we want to keep the conversation going. You know what I mean? We don't want no blank spots within this time. We want to utilize this time wisely. We want to utilize his time wisely. So we want no blank spots. So if you don't have any questions but you still want to be up here, you're going to have to wait. But for the people that got questions, you definitely could come up and you could start asking. So I see Ladybug's up here. What's good, Ladybug?
Hey, how y'all
Ladybug.
doing?
Yo,
Thank you. It's nice to finally meet you, perfection.
nice to meet you. Yep.
Um, you mentioned being inspired by Shinsuke Okada earlier. What's a dream storyline you like to do that represents your heritage?
Oh, dream storyline. Oof. Oh, that's a good one. Never had that one. Man, especially as a Filipino, like which is not the most popular of all the Asians, you know? So, um, oh man, that'd be I don't know. Like Dream's storyline would probably be more of just it would probably be more of just basically like representing if that were to happen, of like I can have them thinking about it's kind of more like Shinsuke would, represent like, the Japanese, like, and I'm kind of just brainstorming out of like my brain right now.
Yeah.
But so like, he's doing the whole samurai gimmick thing right now, right? So it could
Mhm.
be like a whole samurai and then like me maybe coming out with like the Filipino flag or something. Um, so I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be
So
pretty
like
cool for
like a
sure.
fusion. That'd be
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
All
I
right.
like that.
Thank you. I
That was a good
appreciate it.
question.
Appreciate it.
Does anybody else have any questions? I know Styles. I know you got some questions, Styles. I know
You
you.
know I do.
I know you got some questions, man. Let's hear them, man.
Perfection, my man. Welcome,
What's going
welcome,
on?
welcome. Hey, so my question for you is, man, if with wrestlers from the past or current wrestlers on these main promotions, if you could pick your dream tag team partner from any of the promotions, past or present, as far as the main ones, who would you choose?
It's funny because before I had dream opponents, I had a dream tag team, and it was me, Tyler Breeze, and then oh man, I don't know if I want to say this, especially everything that he's been doing through now. All right, let's just say back then, before everything happened, back then, it was me, Tyler Breeze, and Velveteen Dream. Because I thought that would be like an amazing tag team just with all our gimmicks basically being almost similar.
You know what's
But
interesting about your pick with Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen,
mhm,
is that your style and his style mesh so well as tag team partners or
mhm,
just singles one-on-one competition because you both have that unpredictability within the storytelling. It's like your style complements his in any given moment in the match. And I can see that working even as a tag team. That, if once Patrick gets everything cleared away that he's supposed to be trying to
mhm.
get cleared away here in DC in Maryland Championship Wrestling. I would love to see you guys team up together. My
Yeah,
next
that,
question for you is outside of your current style, from what you gained from 7 years of being in the ring, is there another style that you wish to dabble into or um I should say, besides dabbling into that, would suit you as an alternate style of wrestling for you?
No, I. It's funny because I've never saw myself as this, but I kind of want to do a little bit of a lucha stuff. Like I do like I can do a head scissors. I can do a moonsault. I can do um what else what else can I do? Like a good tornado DDT. So it's just like so like lucha would be seems like it would be pretty fun to do, not gonna lie. So other than like my shoot style, MMA style right now, I think lucha would be a great way to like um incorporate into my arsenal. Um I guess I could have said like the whole cash can like chain wrestling, but like I don't know, I was never really like into that. Like it might be, unpopular opinion, but like I was never into the whole like exchanging holds and all this stuff. I was always like I've always loved the flashiness of wrestling overall. So definitely lucha for sure.
And my last question, because I know Darkwing has some questions after me. Um, the hardcore matches or the extreme rules type matches, the ladder matches, the steel cage matches. What do you feel as far as those type of specialty matches suits your style currently?
Let's see. So I haven't done a ladder match, but I've done a steel cage and I've done a uh hardcore match. It was a hardcore war, but it was just really just a triple threat hardcore match. Um, but I'd say I'd want to I'd want to say a cage match would fit more me, but I enjoyed the hardcore match that I did. So I think, man, I don't know. Because I'm not like I've never was a big like death match guy either, or like was into the whole hardcore thing. But as far as like doing it, performing it, it would definitely be a hardcore match for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I wanted to ask you a question because we definitely talked about hip hop. So have you ever heard this rapper by the name of Easy Mill?
Yeah, that's yeah, that yeah, yeah, that yeah, that's the Filipino rapper that did a track with Eminem, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yo,
that's where I
he's
heard him. Yeah,
fire. He is super fire.
yeah.
He is super fire. I just wanted to find out if you heard of him
Hmm.
because he definitely is breaking some barriers when it comes to hip hop. Like he's definitely breaking barriers. I just finished listening to some new stuff he just put out the other day. Like I just finished streaming it. So he's
Uh,
wicked, man. He's wicked
Nice.
for sure.
I gotta check him out because that's the only time I heard him was from that Eminem track that he was on
Yeah,
Eminem's past album.
yeah.
But other than that, I definitely should listen to it because right now I'm in like because other than like hip hop and rap, like I'm a huge R&B head too, so I'm just letting him listen to R&B. So I've really listened to and like rap overall lately. So
Well, I'm gonna drop some guys you gotta check out
yeah, for sure.
in your DMs. I'm gonna drop some dudes that will just like you be like what like I'm telling you
Yeah,
bars man heavy bars
but
man for sure. Oh, William Storm was good, bro.
Good evening. Good evening.
William Storm is also a professional wrestler himself, and he has some
yo,
years in.
hey.
So, do you have any questions for Perfection?
Again, I just joined as of late. I just got back to TikTok. I took a small nap after
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I don't know what all has been asked as of yet.
Ask anything. Anything you
Mm,
want to ask.
yeah.
Anything.
Um, how long you been going at it? Like, how long has your career been going so far?
So yeah. So earlier I said I trained at Black and Brave 2018, didn't do much 2019, and then 2020 was my debut, so about 5 years now.
Okay. Okay. I'm about to go into year 5 next year. I started 2021,
Nice.
so I'm right there with you.
That's
Uh,
nice.
Wake up,
Who
bro. Wake up.
and I'm trying. To get in Virginia and work outside of wrestling has kicked my ass lately. Um, so, who were some of your inspirations growing up when you wanted to get into wrestling?
That'd be The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, and then Shinsuke Nakamura.
See, that's a completely different style from who I looked up to. But it's fine. Everybody has different people they looked up to. I was Shawn Michaels, Adam Cole, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's still funny. Like it's funny when people say that Seth Rollins not one of mine, because like people are like, he's like, didn't he train you? But I'm just like yeah, sure, but but like I don't know. I just never like. I guess it's because there's a difference. Like Nathan Frazier, right? Like he definitely wrestles just like Seth, right? But then like me, even though I'm trained by Seth, I just wrestle differently. So I think that's also the difference there.
Yeah, I forgot about Nathan Frazier, man. Nathan Frazier's fire, man.
Mhm.
Fraxium is dope, man. I'm 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 interested to see what's going to happen with them moving forward too. Now, especially now that they're on the main roster, I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Yeah, but Ladybug said she had a question. I don't know if she asked the question
No,
already.
I have not.
Mm-mm.
I had
Okay,
a second
all right,
question.
go ahead.
Thank you. If do you feel like the indie scene's missing anything right now, and if so, what do you feel like that is?
Uh, let's see the indie scene for me. Just because, so I'm around Chicago a lot, which is an indie hotspot, but it's also very it's a lot of spot fests. So um definitely it's more characters. I've always loved more characters like in wrestling, and that's one of my goals is to basically not say bring characters back because there are characters,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely just bring more characters. This is kind of impossible, but independent wrestling just I feel like needs more storytelling, but it's kind of impossible because like the independent scene, especially fans of the independent scene, they don't really follow as much, or it's not more as exposed. It's more of just families going to see a wrestling show and then they forget whatever happened, unless they're going to every single show. So it's definitely what's it called. I would love more storytelling. Like this past or 2024 when I was going through my year-long title reign, had a huge basically storyline of how I was in a faction. Got to basically cheat in my way with every title defense using them, and eventually it ended up with them just getting sick and tired of me, and perfection thinking that he did all himself, it was all his work, and then basically just the big blow off of transferring it to, or the family going against perfection and basically dethroning the big bad evil guy.
Mm.
So love that story.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's all I had.
Mhm.
Cool. Anybody got any more questions? We can also start letting some more people up on the panel as long as they have questions for perfection. Cause
Do you
I got some questions, but I want everybody else to get theirs out the way, and then I'll get to mine's later.
would you prefer babyface or heel?
Oh, heel for sure. I've been booked twice as babyface, and it has not gone well. Um, it's I was told going through training by one of my classmates, shout out Tim Hayden from Australia, that like when he first saw me, he was like, he said, when he first saw me, he wanted to just punch me in my face, and apparently I just have a very punchable face.
Oh, shit.
So, and then even my debut January, like my very first match, they made me as a baby face, and uh, you know, I and at the time, I had I know I wanted to come out to So Fresh So Clean, but the internet wasn't working for whatever reason. So they just had whatever preloaded. They're like, all right, well, what do what kind of style do you want? I'm like, give me some rap, some rap, hip hop, whatever. They chose Usher's "Yeah," right? And like that's a good song. People are gonna get hyped for when they hear "Yeah," right? So I'm like, all right, well, they if they hear that, they're gonna be ready for me. And it was a pre-show. It was me against Moondog, Casey Bernard, and I come out, and I don't know if he already came out, so that everybody knows that he's supposed to be booed. Uh, and then when the drop hits for "Yeah," I come out, instantly get laughed at, and I'm like, ah, cool, great. So, and then the second time I was booked as a babyface, um, I it was for Hornswoggle's promotion, ACW up in Wisconsin, and he tried to book me as a face, just to test the waters, basically, just see how it would do, in a tag team, and perfection just got so established by then that people were already just so used to booing me and love booing me that it just did not work. So definitely heel for sure.
So I got a question now. What's harder for you, Perfection? Selling or taking a bump?
You said selling or taking a bump?
Yeah, which one is harder for you
Hmm.
as a heel?
Oh, as a heel. Oh, I love selling, so I'm a pretty good seller. So I don't know. I don't mind bumps really, but if I had to choose between those two, definitely just taking a bump, I guess, because I love selling. So selling's great. I love selling.
I have a question.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, what
Keep
happened?
muted.
Oh, there she go.
My
There she
bad.
go.
Perfection. How do you mentally prepare before your matches?
Before my matches, how to mentally prepare. Uh, I've because like I want to say like because I'm so nervous or whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
literally like sit in a chair
Mm-hmm.
and I just stare off, just like this. I literally stare off because I'm like, and people think are like I'm like freaking out or nervous, and I'm like I'm just trying to calm my heart rate down. So I literally sit down right next to like in Gorilla, like I literally sit right next to the entrance while it's going on, and I'm just like, yep. But then when I hear like the first like bass hits or like the drum hits of So Fresh So Clean, I it's like this, like I just stand up, look in my mirror, and then it's just like this. It's like I shed like my skin, if that makes sense. It's like I shed my skin, and then perfection just evolves. So that's definitely that. Other than that, I'll stretch, like normally stretch, warm up, listen to music, uh, but yeah, as far as like right before the match, I'm just sitting down trying to get my heart rate down.
Yeah, I find a lot of wrestlers like the adrenaline starts pumping just before they go out there for a match or whatnot. I remember as a kid watching Goldberg. My man, they'll start banging on the door. He comes out. He starts banging his head against lockers. I was like, man, that's pretty that's pretty extra, man. Like his head starts leaking, and then he comes out there and the fireworks are going up. But I ain't going front. That's a sick intro. But what I'm
It
saying is
is.
that just for him doing off of that was pretty much. I was like, man, he
Mhm.
ain't think about splitting his head open during the match or nothing. Like he just was, So yeah, I could definitely see what you're talking about. I got a question. How many titles have you held so far in your wrestling career?
I've held, let's see, the RPW Tag Team Champion. I've held the 25/8 champion, which ended up being or converting into a like a almost like a Money in the Bank. So it was more like a you cash in, and that's when I cashed in for the Now That's Wrestling Champion. So three, yeah, so three. But I've been in many title matches though, but just never actually. But I've only captured three.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So my next question is a wrestling question, and I got this screen full of wrestling questions in front of me right now. Y'all can't see them, but that's what I was doing, setting up the questions. So this question right here says, which of the following championships has John Cena never held? And it's an easy one, but I'm gonna get to some hard ones. So is it A, the Intercontinental Championship? Is it B, the United States Championship? Is it C, the WWE Tag Team Championships? Or is it D, the WWE World Tag Team Championships?
Play A because he's never done the IC title, right? Yeah, pretty sure.
Anybody
It,
else?
it is
Hey,
A.
it's
I'm
A,
gonna
the Intercontinental
perfection. You're
Championship.
right.
He's
Yeah.
never
I'm
won the
gonna original
Intercontinental
Cena fan.
Championship.
Yep.
He wins the IC, he becomes a Grand Slam champion. He's still not.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
A is
Locked
my
and
final
loaded.
answer.
Locked for sure.
Okay.
That's my
It's
guy.
it's an A. It's A, the Intercontinental Championship. It's definitely Intercontinental Championship. Yep, for sure. Because I definitely remember him holding tag titles, not for long, but I definitely remember having a tag team title run just for a short stint. So I definitely remember that. All right, so I got one more. My next question is, which superstar entrance music contains the lyrics, "They broke the mold when they made me"? Is it A, Shawn Michaels, B, Dolph Ziggler,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
C, Billy Gunn, or D, Mr. Perfect?
Dolph
Sure, that's
Ziggler.
Dolph. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Dolph
Dolph.
Ziggler.
Yeah, Dolph
Yeah.
Ziggler.
How many saying Dolph Ziggler?
I'm trying to think.
Me.
I'm trying to think of
Me.
the song.
I'll say Dolph
Pretty sure it's
Ziggler.
Dolph. Yeah, because that's
Dolph?
the I Am Perfection one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. If that was his first one before he switched to his more recent one, then yeah, that's Dolph.
Okay. It is definitely Dolph Ziggler. It's Dolph Ziggler. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I decided while everybody was asking you questions, I said, yo, I'm going to pull up this screen real quick and see, all the wrestling questions and stuff like that and do a trial run real quick just to see how it would work. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right,
That was our test pilot rapid fire segment. That's what that was, the rapid fire segment of the show.
Yeah.
Can I ask Perfection one more question? If you have time?
Sure.
Perfection. If you were not wrestling, what do you see yourself doing right now?
MMA fighter for sure.
Okay,
MMA.
nice.
Me doing MMA.
Okay.
Perfection, I have a question real quick before BARZ throws one back at you. Your Mount Rushmore, both in singles wrestling and tag team wrestling.
Let's see, Matt. Okay, so my takeaway, because I feel like you have to preface on what when you say Mount Rushmore. My takeaway from a Mount Rushmore is like the people who made the biggest impact, right? That's just my takeaway. So I say just probably just the people who made the most impact would be Hogan, The Rock, Cena. I don't know if Roman's there yet, but yeah, probably those three, and then let's throw in Stone Cold or Flair. Then you could change those two out. But yeah, they're not necessarily my favorite because I'm not a big Hogan fan. But from when I see Mount Rushmores, I kind of just say what has the most impact really.
By the tag team side.
Oh yeah, tag team. Sorry. It would be Hardy Boys has to be in there. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to see Hardy Boys. What other tag teams too? I'm blanking on tag teams. Would see it is all you also get a weird thing where it's tag team are just solely two people? Or can there be a third? Okay, yeah, solely two people. So it'd be the Hardy Boys. I want to say Young Bucks because they had a huge thing where they just were on fire. So Young Bucks. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. Guess you could put Dudley Boys in there too. And let's do Brothers of Destruction. These are very reluctant because I never really thought about a tag team Rushmore, so I'm just going off the top of my head.
I have one final question, if it's okay. Okay. As a person of color, how has your culture or community shaped your approach to wrestling?
Mm. It's kind of hard because there's not very like known Filipinos really. Like,
Mhm.
and even if they are, it's kind of like an afterthought. It's like, oh yeah, you forgot that Batista was Filipino, or oh hey, like the only one who was probably more forward about it is probably TJP,
Mhm.
really. But then like people don't know. Shotzi Blackheart, Filipino as well. So it's like I would like to bring that more to light, or just even even like in pop culture too. Like you know Bruno Mars, right?
Mhm.
Her, right? Uh, Saweetie, I know is also Filipino. So it's kind of like I kind of just want to just bring that because uh little thing the with the Philippines, especially Filipino news, if you're like 10% Filipino, they think you're like the king of the world. And if you even go to any Filipino and you mention Bruno Mars, they're 100% going to say, "Oh, did you know he's Filipino?" Like just because that's how proud like Filipinos are of their culture. So I would love to make that more, um, yeah, more frontward facing, or more like in your face about it, as far as my culture. I can honestly probably even say, and I'm pretty sure I'm the first Filipino graduate of Black and Brave, because I was looking at it earlier, and I'm looking at all the other graduates, and I'm pretty sure I'm the first Filipino graduate. So it might be a small demographic to to a lot of people, but like I said, I kind of want that more.
That's still a big
Uh,
impact.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Mr. Allen,
Hey, what's up, Mars?
do you have any questions for Perfection?
I actually do have a couple. First off, you said you've wrestled for 5 years so far. Who's your favorite competitor you wrestled against?
Oh, favorite competitor that I've wrestled against. Oh man, I have a good couple. Uh, I'll do. Oh shoot, let's just do three. Sunny Kiss, just because Sunny met like taught me a lot. Especially I was only 2 years into my career, or into my debut, and Sunny like taught me a lot. Just in our match. But locally, want to give a shout out to Alvin Gray. Uh, we had a like it's the first match that I've like had where I was like still like feeling the adrenaline after. Because normally after a match, I'm just like, oh yeah, that was good, or like, oh man, I can work on this, because I'm my biggest critic. But after me and Alvin's match, it was kind of just like one of those like, this is amazing, like on top of the world. So Alvin Gray, I want give a shout out, the Rebel AG, I think, on TikTok. Um, and then someone that I've been in multiple matches with, Johnny CK, uh does a whole like video game gimmick, comes out with a Eevee Pokemon, and me and him, we I don't know, for some reason promoters just love us singing together, and we don't really try to like work a lot, but he's the one that I've worked the most, and we've never had a bad match. And it's always been good. So I'd say those three.
Cool. What kind of training regimen do you keep yourself in?
So training regiment, I actually, if you guys, for those who know, Joey Swole, he's a social media, um, uh, gym person. He's known for critiquing people who like make fun of other people at the gym and stuff. And he's like a big buff guy, but he also does is training as well for like 100 a month. And but Joey Swole, he got me into like the right meal plan, and right workouts. So yeah, shout out Joey Swole too.
And earlier you mentioned about Shotzi Blackheart. Have you ever got a chance to meet her yet?
I would love to. I would love to. Yeah, like, and I
Uh,
always thought she was so dope. I remember she the first time I saw her was that viral video that she did where she like hit a bunch of chairs and then like she just folded inside
mm,
out and stuff. So I was super excited when I saw her finally debut, and I'm like, yo, like she was cool, the whole tank thing, and
yeah,
I thought she was so dope. So I would definitely love to meet her for sure.
yeah. She actually wrestled for an organization I'm helping running called Superstars of Wrestling. Super sweet person. She is a
Yeah, I can see
sweetheart.
that. I can see that. Good too. So good.
Mm, very good.
She's also an extremist with them death matches because I just seen her in a death match on
Hmm.
GCW and she went through a plate of glass. I was like, yo, this woman is crazy, yo.
Yeah, she's crazy.
I'm kind of surprised she would do something with that with all the tattoos she has.
Yeah,
She's
she
so
definitely.
cool.
Well, I wouldn't say she went totally through the glass because like they definitely the person she was landing on definitely kind of cracked the glass a little bit. So I don't know if he meant to do that just to save her on the spot or whatever. But I watched the match and I was like, yo, like she did some Darby Allin type stuff. Like she literally
Yeah.
went through the glass. So yeah. So does anybody got any more questions for Perfection?
I got one.
Shoot, go ahead.
So you're based out of Chicago, right?
Yep.
How are you with traveling?
As in, like, if I like it or not, or or
Like,
like,
in terms of like, would you be open to traveling to another state to
oh
wrestle?
yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it multiple. I've been to. I drove like 8 9 hours just to even just help out. Like I any way I can get out, make face, and whether it's helping out or even or getting booked, like I'm always. I mean, I feel like you kind of, if you're in this business, you kind of need to be willing to travel. Do I like traveling? No, because I get highway hypnosis real easily and I be falling asleep. But like that's just what you got to do. I love going to different places. I love seeing like different little towns, whether they're little small little towns with like 50 people or like well or big cities and stuff. So I definitely, and that's kind of like where I'm kind of trying to get to too. I like even just getting out of the Midwest area. That's what I'm trying to get out to because it's very easy to make the circuit of just Illinois, Wisconsin, and then Indiana, or like and then even like Minnesota. You can add on to that too, or Michigan. But like I'm taking just out of that too. Would just love to expand either way.
Okay. Would you be open to coming out to the East Coast?
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's funny. I love a lot of people that I know on TikTok are on the East Coast. So I always tell them like, hey, like, let me know what promotions are over there. Like, let
I
me
see
know
where
what.
this is going.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm on the
Yeah.
East Coast.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
actually there's a promotion starting up in North Carolina called CBW. Purely Backyard Wrestling. They do have a ring. They're starting. We're supposed to have our inaugural show this past Saturday, but due to weather, it got postponed.
Ooh,
So we
that's
are now.
worst.
It's the 21st of this month.
Where's it located?
Thomasville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a YouTube page for it. We have a bunch of the guys from the roster I wrestle with here in Virginia will be there. But the 21st is our opening show. If you want for any of the future dates, I have followed you. So if you are ever
Yep. Just dropped you a follow.
yeah, if you're ever open to traveling out to Carolina or there's a promotion in Florida that me and some of the guys from Virginia are thinking about going down and wrestling down there in Tallahassee.
Nice. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that. Yeah, even Florida. I would love to go to.
Or even here in Virginia, we have the promotion I'm part of, which I am one half of the Seven Cities champion.
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna flaunt that out there real quick.
Yeah.
But we have a backyard wrestling promotion out here in Virginia that we're trying to get applicable people out here to. Yeah, they do out there. Boy, one
Yeah,
day.
be down,
We're
for
trying,
sure.
we're trying to get more people out there. So I know the 21st is a little bit too short a notice, but if you have Facebook, I can DM you on here and get your info. We can get you added to the chat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely DM me. I'd love to make my way out there.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing because I don't know how you feel about coming out to the West Coast.
Love that too.
California. So yeah, I followed you. What I'll do is I'll DM you your the information you can that we
go.
Because I run it with 2 other partners and they would want to see as far as matches and stuff. And they're the ones that actually do the final decision. But
Nice.
usually if I recommend, they know I'm good for it.
Yeah, it was fun. Hell yeah, I'd love, like I said, I'd love to go honestly anywhere and everywhere. I think I got for the 5 years, I got comfortable in the the Midwest area. So now I got to do something uncomfortable and just go out.
Hey, Bars, we need to see Perfection versus D'Angelo.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That would be fire.
Our very first interview, D'Angelo. Yeah.
I'm gonna take all the disrespect. That's cold.
Nah, I didn't mean nothing against you, William Storm. Calm down.
You good, bro?
Nah, yeah, that'll be super dope. You know who I could who else I could see Perfection up against too? Orange Cassidy. Cassidy will be fire. That will be a fire match because both of y'all characters. Oh my God, that I could just see it right now. See, I'm envisioning how this would look in the ring. Like this, that would be fire, man. You versus Orange
That'd
Cassidy.
be so dope.
Yeah, that would be fire.
Yo, so you said you could see yourself doing some lucha stuff, right?
Yep.
Are there any specific lucha wrestlers you would like to get into the ring with?
Let's see, any lucha wrestlers. I would not be able to keep up at this point in time. Not be able to keep up with Kingo, obviously. Let's see. Trying to see. I met Lindsay a couple times, so that'd be pretty cool. I met Bandito a couple times, so Bandito would be nice. But again, I would have to start doing the whole lucha thing before I do that. But for sure, it would definitely be those. I passed, R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero, because he's my top. That would be amazing if I ever did that. And then of course you can have Ray in there. Oh, you know what? If you want to talk about characters, Mr. Iguana versus Perfection.
Oh boy!
Oh man, he was that Worlds Collide was my first exposure to him, and oh my God, literally the perfect mix between character and in-ring ability. Oh, so good. So yeah, definitely. Well, let's go with that.
It's funny you say that because I was just getting ready to say that, Mr. Iguana. Yeah, he's definitely something different, and he's definitely the perfect combination of the character and the wrestling ability, because the guy really can wrestle, but at the same time he is entertaining as I don't know what. Because when I first seen him, I was like, this is like a Gold Dust, Doink the Clown, like type of persona. And then when the guy started wrestling, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like this is definitely different. This is not no Santino Morella type of thing. This is really different. And the way he incorporated the iguana was funny too, especially with what's his name? He did a Spanish fly to the
did a Spanish fly to the iguana.
I was dying.
When he did the Spanish fly, when Lindsay did the Spanish fly to the iguana, I was in tears laughing.
I was
too. It was so good.
But it was so comedic, and I'm like, he just made an iguana sell.
Yep.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah, and then he tried to make the iguana pin him. And then he just threw the iguana off of. Oh my god,
I
bro.
was in tears, but I was entertained at the same time. I was
That's
like,
the
Yeah,
Didn't they
I
say
love it.
that performance got him an NXT contract?
it might
I'm here
have.
for it.
It
Yeah,
might
I'm here
have.
yeah,
for this.
I'm for it. Yup, I'm for it.
It might have.
For sure.
It definitely might have. For sure, because that performance was fire. It reminds me of when Kenny Omega wrestled against that mannequin, the mannequin doll.
Hmm.
I was like, yo, how is this match so good? This is a mannequin. It can't even. But he sold the crap out of that. He sold the crap out of it. So yeah.
You know what's crazier, Bars? Is there's a video out there with Kenny Omega wrestling a 9-year-old girl,
Yeah,
I remember
just
that.
yeah, love that one.
I remember that.
So good.
and she was actually really good.
Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that match of the 9-year-old girl. Yeah. It just goes to show you, wrestling is just much more than wrestling. Like if you get the right people, they could do just about anything in that ring. That's why when I mentioned Orange Cassidy, like when I first seen Orange Cassidy, the things that he does in the ring, like this dude does a no hands, what was it, drop kick or something like that? He with his hands in his pocket. That's very hard to do. And then a lot of stuff he does with his hands in his pocket, I'm like, yo, man, like wrestling's evolving. It's evolving. When you can get people like Mr. Iguana and Orange Cassidy to do things, they really wrestle and still could be entertaining. That's different. That's different.
What do you
Yeah,
What do you think
there's-
about Joe Hendry's character perfection?
It's good. It's good. I wish I was just talking to my friend about this. I wish him and Randy went a little longer. Like I understand the moment; it was more of a moment, and that was a moment. But like Joe Hendry could work. I wish he was able to showcase that more, especially against Randy. Like I kind of wish there was a little more thing rather than just the entrance. Because Joe Hendry is more than the entrance. He could work. So
Right on.
Yeah, he definitely can. I kept telling people that, like, Joe Henry, y'all don't understand. Like, he's from Ring of Honor. Like, he definitely can put on. If he was allowed to put on, he could have put on probably a 5-star match with Randy Orton.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I got a few more I got
You're
a
muted.
oh my bad. I got a few more questions for you. So I got the screen up. So I'm gonna start off with this. What was your favorite pay-per-view?
Oh, favorite pay-per-view. Uh, I'd say I'd say maybe Royal Rumble. Yeah, definitely. I think Royal Rumble for sure. Yeah, I just love the surprises, of course, and just the moments you could do in that Rumble match. I think yeah, Royal Rumble is definitely my favorite.
Okay. So here's another one. Which Royal Rumble was your favorite? Which one?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but this is just pure nostalgia. So I used to go on YouTube like a lot, like back in like I have my YouTube account is literally from like 2008, 2007, 2008. And my recommendations would always bring up Too Cool dancing at Royal Rumble all the time for some reason. Even though I've already watched it, it'll always come up. So so Royal Rumble 2000, I couldn't even tell you who won, but just because I've always loved Too Cool too. Like just based on that, let's just say Royal Rumble 2000 just because it kept popping up in my recommendations. So literally, yeah, I'll also say Royal Rumble 2000 for sure.
Okay. So my next question. Okay. Favorite stipulation as far as a match?
Oh, as far as let's see, like to watch or to do, because that's two different things.
Both.
Okay, all right. Stipulation to watch. Um, I don't know. Like I guess like an Armageddon Hell in a Cell. Like I don't know. I've always loved Hell in a Cells. Then you got Pure Chaos. I couldn't tell you a match at all, but I just think just the visualization of a bunch of a bunch of people in a Hell in a Cell and beating each other up. However, I would not want to do that just because, from a wrestling standpoint, the more people you have, the harder it kind of gets to putting it together. So, I love to actually do. I love I haven't done this, but I want to do it so bad. But like a blood sport match, like the shoot MMA and stuff. Just because, again, I love MMA, so I would definitely would love to do a blood sport. But I'm totally fine with a good old fashioned one on one. Like as far as like you do so many things, you do so many things, you can tell so many stories, and just a good old fashioned one on one. A lot of things, a lot of elements can happen. Well, it's interferences. How does somebody win? Will it be by DQ? Why is it doing like I think just more of the storytelling on wherever you are at in a story or or how you tell a story in just in a basic match. Like I think that's what I love about just a good old fat doing just a good old fashioned like one on one. So yeah, just give me a good old fashioned one on one as far as like my favorite thing to do.
Cool. Cool. That's what's up. Favorite WrestleMania moment?
Oh, WrestleMania moment. Ah, oh man, there's so many too. Um, I'd say, oh man, there's so many. Okay, I'm just gonna do like top three because they gave me different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Kofi Mania because that actually made me. That was like the last time I got really emotional. For wrestling. So
Mm-hmm.
Kofi Mania. There was just a lot of underlying things that are and what it means too as well. Uh, yeah, that representation. So definitely Kofi Mania. Uh, second would be which is crazy. The Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn gets Steve-O match because that just was so entertaining and it's just so like I think that's when I kind of like realized because like when I normally watch wrestling, especially come from a wrestler, you kind of just start breaking stuff down a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and where you're more just studying rather than like actually watching, and that's like one of the first matches where I was able to just actually just watch as a fan and just be entertained. So probably that, and then let's see, and then what was and then that just because it's more recently, um, the Jay Uso Walter match, just because I was never really a big Jay Uso fan or was on the Jay Uso hype train or at all, but like that match is just it was just so good. So yeah, definitely those are probably not my favorite. If I like look at other WrestleMania moments, I'm probably gonna be like, oh yeah, that too. But just top of my head, those three for sure.
Cool. 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 I got one more for you. One more. Your favorite match of the year?
Oh, match of the year
Mm-hmm.
so far.
I already know.
Uh, it might be that Jay Uso Walter match. Honestly, I don't really think about it. Yeah, it might be that match so far for sure.
What about that match stood out to you?
Of course, like the storytelling aspect. Again, huge storytelling for sure. Um, and then like it's just that I don't know. It's just like that to me it gave me it definitely gave that like underdog like you just needed to root for Jay, right? Even though again,
Mm-hmm.
I going in, I was not a Jay Uso fan, but like just watching that, like, and just how everything was just like the story was told, how beautiful like the story was told, the intensity. It was just it. Yeah, I just love that match. So I have to rewatch it again to know like specifics, but like I just remember, and that's the thing. I just remember how it made me feel. That's how like that's the thing is, and that's the thing with wrestling to me. Like it's one thing to do a bunch of moves, right? Or or like see a little, oh, he did a little cool flippy doo thing, right? But that's all they remember. To make people feel, to make people be emotionally invested into that character, into, and that's one of the reasons why I love Kofi Mania so much, because I was feeling the emotion. So that's why I love that. Like that's why I think it's matchy, because it's that emotion of like you needed Jay to win this, and just the hype he had to, and just yeah, I'm just a big, very like emotional, and that's why I like characters too, because you I remember Rollins is a little bit of a tangent, but I remember Rollins told us, but when he's teaching, he doesn't teach a lot of moves, because he said you can lead, you can learn a move in 5 minutes, but to learn storytelling and to learn how to get fans invested in you, that takes forever. So that's where I'm coming from for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. I definitely think storytelling is important because it gets people more invested into the character itself. Like I could be invested if you're a good wrestler, but if you're a good storyteller and a great wrestler, that just speaks more volumes. You know what I mean? Because now I get to see you on your quest. And when you mention stories, that Kofi Mania, that basically is one of the most cemented moments in WWE history. And not only that, like everybody was invested in for him to win. Now, how he lost the belt, I didn't like that too much. I was kind of mad about that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But as far as how he got to the title, yeah, I was definitely 100% invested. The same way I was invested in Jey Uso. Now my personal preference, I didn't like his second encounter with Gunther for the title. I thought it could be a little bit better. But I know they wrestling tonight, and I don't want nobody to tell me what happened, because I'm definitely gonna watch. Oh man, like I don't like that laugh. That sinister laugh means something. I don't tell me, bro. I want to see.
I'm not saying a word, bro. I am not saying a word.
And Storm putting on glasses. Oh man, like I ain't see you wear glasses like a damn. He put it
Yeah.
on. And something
Yeah.
happened.
I had it on here.
You can't say nothing, Perfection. Let him go back and watch it.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay.
Speaking of which, so Perfection, is there a certain match that really got you hooked into professional wrestling?
Ooh, certain match. Let's see. A certain match that really got me hooked into professional wrestling. So the way I got into, and we never really actually went over this, but the way I got into wrestling wasn't even from watching wrestling. It was from the video game. It was from SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. It was my first ever video game. Uh, didn't know what wrestling was at all, because nobody in my family watched wrestling. But SmackDown 2 Know Your Role was my first ever video game, because my mom loved video games. She owned a Nintendo 64. We played Mario together, but she bought me a PS1. Uh, Told me to choose the game, the cover of SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, like, and I still have it. Like stuck out to me. Played it. What really hooked me was the entrances, and like seeing the little like wrestlers come down with like the Titantron behind. You ever played that? Uh, so I loved watching going. I didn't even play the matches. I just watched every single wrestler's entrance the whole time. Um, and then I was following that maybe up until like 2003 ish. So like about like Here Comes the Pain, uh, or Just Bring It. Uh, but then I was flipping through the channels, and then next thing you know, I see Eddie Guerrero and John Cena in a parking lot brawl. and like my mind like just blew because I was like, wait, this is a real thing. Like this is a thing that people actually do. Like, because I thought it was another Mario franchise or another Sonic franchise that my mom played, right? I was like, man, because like I was like, oh, I think that's another thing. It was like, man, they have all these people so dedicated to this video game franchise. It's crazy. But when I found out that wrestling was real, right? I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. So I'd say it would probably be that match, Eddie Guerrero, John Cena parking lot brawl. That's what got me into wrestling. I'm like, yo, I'm tuning in, or I'm tuning in every night and just watching this.
What are your I know Bars asked about a 5-year plan. Like, do you have any goals beyond that?
Uh, Ultimate goal would be like just end goal, Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame. Or all WrestleMania weekend. I don't know about recently, but WrestleMania weekend, typically Hall of Fame is my favorite night just because I love everyone's stories of their trials and tribulations, just 'cause I've been through a lot, and just seeing where they got to and getting that recognition. I think that's what I love, and that's where I want to be. I want to be up there and just telling my story of how anybody can do what they want as long as they like keep their mind to it and put in the hard work, no matter, because like I said, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. Perfection came from a very dark place, egotistical moment in my life. And I've made a lot of bad decisions, but if I can get to the top of just even the Hall of Fame, if I can get to the top and then tell my story saying, hey, like, you can mess up your life as much as you want, or not as much as you want, but you can have a lot of mess ups in your life, but you can always come back and make that comeback greater than all your setbacks. So I think that's like my ultimate goal is to get to the Hall of Fame when I'm like what 60 60 70. uh but yeah, definitely Hall of Fame is like my end goal.
And then one last question. You being from Chicago, have you had any conversations with Mustafa Ali? And if so, what are some good tips that he's given you?
I never got any like advice or anything, but I've met him a couple times. I have a close friend, the punk rock prince Jordan Cross, who's been on uh, AEW Dark a couple times. Uh, but he's one of my close friends. Live like literally 15 minutes away from each other, but he has a lot of interaction with Mustafa, so that kind of gets passed down to me. He'll tell me what Mustafa says and stuff. And then most recently, Mustafa just worked a local show around here with Jordan Cross too. Um, so yeah, it was called. So I don't get any advice directly from Mustafa, but Jordan would tell me like oh, Mustafa told me do that, that's this and this. So it's nice to hear uh some teachings secondhand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any interactions with CM Punk?
No, but a trainer over here, Vic Capri, uh, he I think I don't know he used to train with CM Punk, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Or train or did road or went on the road with CM Punk when he was training under Ace Steel, I believe. Uh, so I have a lot of people, and then just recently Jordan Cross's dad, Ryan Cross. I just talked to him like last week or a couple days ago. Um, he said he just saw, well, when last time they were in Chicago, he saw CM Punk, and he was like, "Hey Phil," and then he's like, "Hey," and then he's like, "Hey Ryan," and then like they talked or whatever. So I know more people who know CM Punk, but I never like actually met CM Punk though.
Right on, right on. That's all I had. Somebody else can go.
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions for Perfection? Nobody?
Drawing a blank.
Nobody? Okay. Well, we are getting to that time. I know it's 11:10 p.m. on my side of town. I don't know what y'all side of town's looking like, but it's getting kind of late for your brother. So I definitely would
You
like to.
old, bro. Quit being old. Hey, let me tell you something. If you have a chance to go on vacation, that goes for everybody, not just bars or perfection. If you have a chance just to go, I just got off vacation, and let me tell you something. The mental reset that I got from that is freaking amazing. Like between trying to keep up with wrestling content on TikTok and doing my job, I work in the natural gas industry and doing my job trying to make sure people's houses don't get blown up. A reset was definitely needed. And the cruise that I went on with my wife, it definitely helped. So I would say everybody, even in the comments, if you have a chance to go on vacation just to get away for a little bit, do so.
For sure.
I'm taking mine
For
next month.
sure.
I'm definitely going to be doing a vacation very soon. Definitely need one of mental resets for sure. I definitely need one. My wife and myself, you know. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
owe
you.
your wife. She just graduated.
Yeah, I owe her a few things. Her birthday's tomorrow, so I owe
Oh
her a
yeah,
few
but you
things.
behind, bro. You
Yeah,
behind.
yeah.
So you know, I got to jump on the good foot. That's what they say, right? So, so yeah, you know, yeah, I feel you on that one. But I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Pro Wrestling Perfection for tapping in with us tonight. I gratefully and humbly appreciate it. Yeah, your time, your consideration, and patience. You know, we got this done. You know that the elements from outside try to keep this from happening,
Yep.
but it
Yep.
happened. It
And I'm so
happened.
glad I got to be here because if it had happened before, I was gonna be on vacation.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'm grateful for you guys tapping in with us. I know you got a busy schedule and stuff like that. I'm also happy that you're able to make some connections. You know, these two guys
Yep.
that are on the panel, they're great people, and if you get on their platforms for sure, I want to watch. I definitely gotta
Gotcha.
see. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, I'm happy for you to tap in with us over here. Um, Plug in some of your social media outlets and let people know where to find you and things like that.
So you can find me on all platforms except for X, just because X is a little toxic.
A
But you can
little.
find me on a little, yeah, a little.
What?
Um, but you can find me mainly Instagram, Perfection Pro Wrestler. Or you also find me Facebook, Perfection Pro Wrestler. YouTube, if you want to see any of my matches, Perfection Pro Wrestler as well. Of course, here on TikTok under Perfection Pro Wrestler. It's basically across the board. You can also check out the merch as well. I will be having a new shirt coming out soon. Under Perfection. Just search up Perfection. Under Pro Wrestling Tees. Otherwise, the link is long. It's like prowrestlingtees.com/ this is what perfection looks like. But if you don't want to type that, just search up perfection at Pro Wrestling Tees. And then I do a little streaming as well. That's under Professional Pro Wrestler. So basically, just across the board, other than X as well. Um, as far as shows, there's a show in Milwaukee this Friday, um, called House of Headlocks. I'll be over there making an appearance. Um, I think that might be it this month. I know I have a couple talks that I still need to solidify, but as far as just more recently, it's gonna be this Friday, is sure. But yeah, just want to thank you guys for having me for sure. Thank you guys for all the great questions, bars, and even just the whole panel. Everybody come in, so really appreciate you guys for having me.
No doubt, man. Well deserved, well deserved. You said you're a gamer. I'm trying to get my streaming up as far as my gaming. I got my setup. I'm just trying to see how to set it up on TikTok. I was playing last night. I was playing 2K and I was playing Streets of Rage 4. And then I got another game, this G.I. Joe arcade game I was playing too. So I'm gonna link up with you, man. See what
Yeah, for
games you
sure.
got, man. On the
Hey,
streaming
Bob, as
side.
long as you got a video capture card, you can multi-stream it through either Riverstone or OBS. But if you're using OBS, you gotta
Got
go on
this.
Twitch first. Yeah.
Just
All
gotta
right.
have it.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll talk, bro. Cause I definitely want to start, gaming on TikTok and stuff like that on this channel. Matter of fact, you know what I mean. So I definitely want to do
I mean,
Be dope.
gaming on TikTok, bro, that could really explode your platform. Also,
Yep.
that. Yeah,
Big
man.
thing. Big thing.
I keep telling people. People think I'm joking. I'm a 2-time Tekken champion. Like,
man, you don't want to
Oh,
smoke,
yeah.
bro. You don't want
bro,
to smoke. You don't want to
bro,
Bro, I got somebody on the roster
Hey.
here in Virginia that would give you a run for your money.
bro. I'm a
I'm
2-time
gonna say
Tekken champion.
I'm gonna say this real quick. None of y'all want to smoke against me in Call of Duty Mobile. I'm gonna say that on record. So none of y'all want to smoke in Call of
Jay,
Duty
that's
Mobile.
for old people, Jay.
You said Call of Duty.
He said mobile. He said mobile. You gotta get on data. Yeah, so
Hey,
data.
hey guys, I used to work for TSA. BARZ know this, and Darkwing know this. I used to work for TSA, right? And in DC, my crew, we all played Call of Duty together, either on Xbox or PlayStation. I come to work the next day, it was like I didn't know you was that good. They were so if I on the platforms of the 360 to the Xbox One to the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 5, I'm telling you, you don't want the smoke. You don't want it.
Hey,
Bars, you
Perfection
can
threw his
have
hands up.
Tekken.
Perfection said,
That's
"No,
all
I'm
you.
good. I'm good."
Hey, Call of Duty Mobile. That's all you. I don't got the phone storage. It's all my matches in my gallery.
But I cancel Christmas on folks like my man Tommy and Power say. I come to cancel Christmas on you.
Yeah, I got 2 capture cards. I got 2 capture cards actually, so that's what I'm trying to see. Like I actually got, matter of fact, I got 3 capture cards, so I'm trying to figure out how to link it. Cause I tried last night to do a trial run to link it to my TikTok to try to see if I could play Streets of Rage online and just have people watch me play. But I didn't know how to get it moving. So
Okay, so what you got? I'm gonna send you the video link because I followed the tutorial from YouTube for both Riverstone and OBS, and they
okay,
both are similar, but you may be missing one important feature. You got to adjust your settings on either OBS or Riverstone, whichever platform you're going to use. But you always have to start on Twitch first, then go over to TikTok. You can't just
oh
jump on
okay,
TikTok because even though you got a lot of followers, if you're using a PC and you want to do it that way, you have to use TikTok Live from the PC.
yeah, I don't
You have
have
to
a
use the Live
PC.
Studio.
I don't have a
Okay.
PC. I got I got all Apple stuff. So
So you have to do Twitch, then you have to Twitch, then you gotta
Get you a
request.
MacBook.
Yeah, you gotta request it mirror it from Twitch into TikTok.
oh okay, yeah, I got a MacBook. I got a MacBook, and I got a Mac Mini. So all right,
Oh,
so
you
I should be
balling. Dang.
well, bro, this is like 3 to 4 years of saving money, bro. I'm not balling, bro.
I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you.
I'm not balling. Trust me, man. I was putting $100 aside every single day.
Because them MacBooks ain't cheap.
Bro,
Nah.
I know. I got a refurbished one. I still had to pay out of pocket. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, I appreciate you, Perfection. I'm definitely going to keep taps with you and everything like that. I appreciate your time and effort. I appreciate everybody on the panel. I will be back Wednesday to do it live. I'm going to be setting up some more interviews with a few other wrestlers. Stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned for this video that we just did tonight and the last 2 videos I did. I'm working out the edits right now. They will be dropping on YouTube soon. Perfection, I will definitely send you the link. And if you got email, I'm going to probably try to compress the video so I can send you your own copy.
Cool. Thank you guys for sure.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Hey, Dub, Jay, I'll hit y'all up on the phone. Mr. Allen, we gonna talk. Storm, we gonna talk. We gotta set up these interviews so we can rap And other than that, I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Let's make it happen,
Deuces.
See you
Captain.
You
Wednesday.
guys for sure.
All right, bro.